speaking now. People can hear us on the internet. Did you know that? So I'm here with my 4-year-old boy. He's 4 tomorrow. And we are going to commentate on this Exceed match until the Switch charges and he can play Mario Odyssey. Isn't that right, fans? Oh, you don't want to talk to the internet?
No.
Okay, well, you can move the mouse with your finger and then I'll tell you where to point. So this person is Renea, and she puts her boost face down. That's Serena the plant. She's stuck in the middle and all the special attacks come from her. And there's Sydney over here. Can you move over there? And Sydney does all the normal attacks. So Sydney and Serena are the same. They're together on a team. And they're very defensive. They have a lot of attacks that are like sweep, that are slow and defensive. They have a lot of armor, get a lot of gauge. Renea works a lot with information, hiding information, and gaining opponents' information. She's also...
look at that, Daddy.
Yeah, he was shuffling his deck. So this should be a fun match. I think Renea is going to be obviously favored. But Sydney and Serena's been performing well this tournament, so we'll see what happens.
Hello, hello.
Hello. Can you hear him, fans?
Yeah.
I've got
Hi
my
there.
4-year-old here helping me commentate. This is the oh, I guess we have a 2-minute break here. This is the second match of the set. The first match went to Tabby. It was Iaquis against someone. Let me see. Iaquis against Enchantress.
Really?
Iaquis won on
Interesting.
that one. Mm-hmm.
So with an Enchantress still on the board, they chose to switch to SNS? Interesting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Enchantress would actually do really well against Renea, I think.
Yeah, a lot of Enchantress has some powerful boosts, but not a lot that give Renea the momentum that she really needs.
And also, like if Renea gains some knowledge about her hand, well, Enchantress's hand is always just shrinking. So
and can always be pretty easily thrown away.
Mm-hmm. I think this match Renea is favored, but I know Sydney and Serena's been doing pretty well this tournament.
I think it's very much a finesse matchup. It's one of the notable things about it is a lot of Renea's usual get out of jail answers do not work against Sydney and Serena based on the board shape. Like,
that's true.
You know, Sydney is an answer to turn 1 Strafe Fire. They have an answer to even anticipation at certain board states. Dodging at range 1 doesn't mean you dodge at range 0, so Verdant Slaughter would still work.
That's crazy. That's a good
it's
point.
it is very matchup dependent, but yeah, if you look at Renea's best evasive tools, Flare, Lethal Force, and Strafe Fire, and Anticipation, they all potentially fail in this matchup. And I think because Renea knows that, or just doesn't have the Strafe Fire, you're seeing that turn 1 boost.
I think the Switch is charged. I think you should be able to play it now. Look at that. Okay. Now you're gonna have to have the sound on quiet until I'm done with this match, okay?
Daddy, I don't want to talk anymore.
Yeah, you can sit. Go ahead and sit somewhere else, and then you won't have to talk anymore.
Early.
Let me sit somewhere else.
No worries.
You can hop up on this side. Yep.
Wow. I don't know what to think of this situation here. Would you look at that hand?
All right, let's see. Yeah.
Double Pea Shooter in the opener, and they kept it.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Hey,
petrified
my
a called shot
cousin.
or what.
My cousin.
Okay, it's just your starting bets. You're gonna have to commentate on your own for a second. I'll mute myself, but I'll be back on in a sec. My daughter just
No
woke
worries.
up.
I'll carry it till you're back. Venom Lash goes to hand. We still have the response from the strike. And a Wild Swing. We have an Assault. And the response is Blossom Haze. So the Blossom Haze will hit. 3 damage. And Renea stays exactly where she is, with a full knowledge of what's in hand. And she boosts, which is odd because Pea Shooter's safe from this position, but well, now we've got that Vine Snare boost. Not that bad for tech. And another. Wow, that's a lot of resources invested into not moving. And at this point, I suppose it's more of a elaborate sequence of change cards actions at this point, leaving SNS on 2 unknown cards at this point. And Renea with the 1 face down boost. Got an EX transform for paranormal investigation, giving that mimesis. Mimesis? I can never pronounce that. Mimetism. There we go. Well, certainly a useful boost and a less useful card in this matchup, but just more time for SNS to reload, find that Spore Burst or Choking Thorns, and just continue leveraging. I wouldn't be surprised to start seeing some Sydney and Serena action to get some free gauge for a little life cost after this point. Another face down boost. And Sydney crosses in. That is very interesting.
Yeah, I feel like that kind of, does he have Pea Shooter boosted right now?
Yes.
So that kind of, I guess, negates the Pea Shooter in a way? Like,
I'm really unsure why they would do that unless they're scared of some sort of anticipation spike setup. Like,
no,
but they can't move, so why would they be worried about that? I'm very confused about that one.
Yeah, well, you mentioned finesse, so I guess that was a finesse play that is just beyond us to understand.
7. It's true. We've got a strike, and then we've got so we have the cult shot and anticipation reveal.
+2 power, +1 speed.
Yep, but no movement because of the trap.
No, if they do anticipation, they could still be hit if it's from Serena, is that correct?
Yes, if not they have the gauge for it, but if they were to say play, oh, it's just a sweep. Into the Spore Burst. Okay. I don't know why they moved up to make the mix up of that, but that was pretty much free from any range.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm a little confused by it. It's kind of a bummer that they got stunned out, but at the same time, they were kind of asking for it.
Yeah, so 8 power sweep's a good card. Who knew? I mean, moving into threaten some kind of mix-up is fine, but they just thrown away a grasp. And
yeah, well, even still, I mean, whatever mix-up they could threaten, with unboosted, they could not stun sweep. So they should have just assumed that it's a sweep or a focus, and then tried to beat it, and moving it is not going to beat that.
we've got a 2-force spend for mimetism to keep the called shot in play. And a
That's a
prep
nice
from.
boost.
And an EX.
Well, this should be. I imagine that he may get a free hit out of this, but his hand size is 1, so Renee is 6. And she is boosted, so she's kind of able to offset
If
the
I were
EX.
Renee here, I would slam Lethal Force if I had it. They do not. Because that felt like EX sweep or EX focus all day.
Yeah.
Well, they throw SNS in the corner, which is smart because by throwing Sydney in the corner with both pea shooters down, they can at least fight pretty confidently. There's only one Blossom Haze to worry about at speed 5.
So there was no force spend that time.
Well, that was a sweep discard effect. So there's.
Oh. Well, I mean, it could have still retained that called shot boost, I believe.
At 5 cards, it's a little more difficult to justify.
That's more.
We've got a second boost, and then we've got a strike. Oh, we've got the flare and a guard. I wonder if we'll see a flare from hand.
Now, the flare, is that the one where you call a card in the opponent's hand to get
Now,
damage?
flare is the speed 5, 3 damage with the hit effect that attacks at range 1 cannot hit you.
Okay, does
covers,
it and it closes?
It does close, yes. See the strafe fire. Oof, brutal. Well, the strafe fire will hit. Get that very important transformation out. But Renee will take 5.
So this means any boost can have a move 1 effect immediately after it's played, essentially.
Yes. Oh wait, was that lethal force? I thought that was strafe fire. That's lethal force. That was fantastic. That did a ton. And we have the immediate exceed. No strafe fire down yet.
All of those boosts are very, very handy. So good timing on that exceed mode.
Absolutely. This feels like a choking thorns. Ooh, it was an Alrunes. You're all caught off guard by that.
Yep, I love that ultra. It's a great ultra.
2 gauge gets spent. Renea loses a gauge. And more importantly, loses that flare.
Well, and also kind of like she was kind of having momentum, and now kind of interrupted that a little bit, but she still has a lot of cards and a lot of options in hand. So it shouldn't bother her too much.
It's just a useful card against
But you know what I think his last card is? I bet it's the other ultra. I bet he's planning to play the other ultra. It's stun immune, right? And it pulls.
It's not stun immune. It has, in fact, has guard based on the amount of gauge you have. So at 3,
that's right. So it's not that good.
With a cost of 2, it will be only 4 guard, which is not very much. Pea shooter is not nearly as effective here as it could be. It shuts off some normals options, but all right, we're gonna
I
see
feel
the
like the defend boost is very underutilized, but it really is a very nice boost. It can be put to good effect, especially for Renea, because she doesn't have a lot of tinky attacks.
And the big thing is, now that she's flipped, she wants to keep trading. Oh, she spends the force to use the pursuing the following leads transformation to move 1, and then perhaps the real benefit is Renea, when flipped, wants to trade, because if she's usually spending one of those briefcase boosts to land a hit, she wants to get another one back. When she runs out of boosts in her briefcase to make plays off of, her power dramatically drops. It is worth noting, I think, in 2 hits, if Sydney and Serena do not reshuffle, that will get Renea a block. And that is a big deal. because that sets up one of the game's only guaranteed parry reading setups.
What do you mean by that? So he's going to be drawing into block no matter what, or something?
Well, every time Renea hits, she gets the bottom card of her opponent's discard that has a boost on it. Now, if I'm remembering the sequence of actions correctly, after the pea shooters, there was a block discarded to pay for one and a grasp discarded to pay for the other. So if Renea can pick up that block, she can, in 1 or 2 hits, she can boost the block from briefcase, see her opponent's hand as another action, play focus from hand, and guarantee to hit whatever she wants. So we see a pea shooter and a strike with spending the other flare. Interesting. It's a good call.
Oh. Did
Pays
he
out.
outspeed there? Oh, no. Never mind.
No, but they couldn't move because of the pea shooter boost from briefcase.
Yep, that hurts.
Now we'll see. Yep, there's the block.
Oh, that's a great memory you have.
Well, it's very, very important to keep track of. Oh, and he maintains pea shooter. Oh, there's the tech, which is probably
Yeah, that would have
worth
been
it.
brutal.
You cannot move again. But again, with that block in hand, in briefcase, that's a tremendous threat. Especially because I don't think we've seen either focus from Renea.
Yeah, so if she does do a reading, I guess she can do whatever she wants with it. But what do you think the best move would be to do on a reading, like the best attack?
Unfortunately, both spikes are down for Renea, I believe, so it's hard to cash out with that. There should be another lethal force left, which is always a great option. Unfortunately, she does not have Strafe Fire's transform of double down in play, which is a pretty big deal. The biggest problem here is I don't think Sydney and Serena cannot exceed from their current board state, and they may not have a cross to get there. Their exceed is 7.
So what do you think Renea should
5,
do here?
4, 3, 2.
I'd expect a cross or something, but oh, huh. So that actually
that works out just fine for Sydney and Serena. They do spend a gauge.
And then unfortunately pull her right on top of the plant, so they can't exceed still. But the life is a little more even now.
It's a lot more even, but oh look, a grasp. Almost what might be needed to close this game out.
Yeah. Well,
Though to be fair,
that parry alone should close it.
Well, with only 2 cards in hand, there's a non-zero chance that she might miss, so to speak. She can also try to set up called shot like this, but because the opponent can play the card you think they're going to call shot, it's actually not a guaranteed setup. So we have the parry call. And whatever it was a miss, we see a grasp and a focus.
There's definitely going to be a change cards next turn.
Well, if they get the chance, this could be read assault into sweep or lethal force, which would not kill. Lethal force would not kill. Sweep would. I don't know. Or read assault into. I guess she does not have a lethal option. We do see the reading. Grasp into called shot. Oh.
I didn't realize it gave her a free action.
And there's the kill.
Yeah. Yep, good stuff.
Well, that's, again, Renea, it takes a lot for her to get that set up, but she's one of the only people in the game who can do it, and information kills.
Yep, that was very well played. So that is 2-0 for Tabby on this set.
All right.
Well, thanks for commenting like 90% of the time for me while I wrangle
No
my
problem.
kids.
Sorry, I'm used to trying to keep up with D, who's always 2 steps ahead of me. So I've gotten into the habit of talking a lot.
Yep, well, this video is available on the Twitch channel, so I'll let Poiman and Tabby know. It was a good match.
Absolutely. And thanks for letting me team up with you.
Yep, see ya.
Later.